Okay, we're live. Hi everybody, we're going to wait for some of you to join us live here. I'm with Véro, very special guest from, what's the name of your brand?
French Girl in Seattle takes France.
Wait, it's longer than it used to be, right?
I had to add something.
Because you weren't always in France, you were in,
Yep.
obviously.
But as of March 1st, I am no longer in Seattle. So I am back in France. So French Girl in Seattle takes France.
I love it, I love it. It just takes you slightly longer to type it out when you have to, that's all.
I know. I do the FGIS.
That's great.
That's
FGI,
fast.
Yeah, that's smart.
You do that too.
Yeah,
the
I
French
should do it
fry.
more.
Yeah.
So welcome everybody. People like to say rebonjour when we do the chats. I taught them that one.
Good for you.
Which
That's
means
what the French do.
Hello again, rebonjour.
Rebonjour. Yeah.
You can throw that re in front of a lot of words, right? Yeah. So I'm going handheld. It's not going to be this shaky during the whole thing. It's because I want to show you
It looks
first.
like a French Girl in video. French Girl in Seattle video when it's shaky.
Well, this shoulder, by the way, just did about an hour's worth of live touring, so I'm a little bit fatigued. But I'm going to set it on the tripod in a minute. But after showing you Véro's beautiful face, I wanted to show you this here.
This is our picnic.
This is our picnic. In fact, let me flip it around and show you a proper...
So, do you want me to show them what we have?
Yeah, go ahead, Véro. Give us the breakdown.
So we have the basics. You know, guys, it's actually 5:15 in Paris, so we can call it apéritif.
Nice.
I think it qualifies. We're going to have an apéro, okay? That's a little bit of a French ritual. We like that here. So we have 3 different types of cheese today. I know Comté. Comté is a favorite of Corey's, so I got
love this, yeah.
a Comté that's been aged 24 months.
Yeah, because it's all about how long it's aged, the Comté.
Yes, and I didn't get the oldest one they had, but kind of a middle of the road one. And this is a very interesting goat cheese called le Valençay. It's from a beautiful region in center of France called le Berry. So this is the Valençay, which is goat cheese. And the last one here is not easy to find, and I did see it at the market. This all came from my local market. It's called the Montbriac. Some people call it the blue brie because it's a very mild blue, and I didn't want something that would overpower everything else.
That's smart.
And then we have some saucisson because you've got to.
I got to zoom back in on the saucisson, by the way.
Saucisson.
This is what the apéro is all about,
Yep,
right?
the saucisson, and then from Auvergne, and then we have la baguette tradition, not too dry, and then we have, especially for Corey, I picked. This is a bio wine, by the way.
Meaning?
An organic.
Yep, organic.
An organic wine.
Great.
And this is a Cahors. You know the city
Yes,
Cahors?
Cahors. Let
But
me show them what
Cahors
that looks like.
is also a wine. This wine is 85% Malbec. It's going to be a full-bodied red, just like Corey likes it.
Love it.
I haven't tried it, but we're going to try it together. And this is more from the southwest, where I'm from.
Okay.
So this is our little picnic.
And some grapes.
We
And I
have
just want to
some
point
grapes.
out a couple of things. Goat cheeses very, very often come in this pyramid shape, don't they?
Yep, you have several that do that.
Not all, but a lot of them do.
Not all,
That's
yeah.
just a
Some of
thing.
them are a little round. Some of them have this shape. This is a really nice one. Oh, and we didn't show them. I know a lot of these ladies love Monoprix. Guys, these came from
Show off your Monoprix.
They come in the smaller size and the large size. And this lady, Françoise Pavio, makes these great napkins that are perfect when you entertain because they're thicker than
That's great.
paper.
Let's
They
zoom in
feel
on
like
those.
fabric.
Oh,
and
nice.
look, because we're in Paris, we went for. Can you see? We have the Arc de Triomphe.
Keeping it real. Yeah.
The Eiffel Tower.
Make no mistake where we are.
I thought, it'd be nice to have this.
That's great.
We have some water too in case we get bored with the wine. That's it.
And by the way, look at that backdrop. Yeah, pretty spectacular.
It's pretty.
All right, speaking of the backdrop,
Where is the sun?
the sun is coming, I promise you.
I don't know. You've been saying that all afternoon.
Bear with me here while I pop you onto the tripod here. And we're going to get ourselves situated, something like that.
So I'll lean in a little bit like
Yeah,
this.
we're both going to lean in. We're going to get
Can you
cozy.
see us? I think
We're going to
they
get
can see
cozy.
us,
Hold
yeah.
on, I'm going to just a little bit more like that. You can tell me if you're happy with that angle or if you want to change. I think that doesn't look bad.
It's good, right?
We both look about as good as we're going to look.
I think so, especially before drinking wine.
Yeah,
Let's
before
face it.
drinking wine, absolutely. Okay, well, it's time to get serious.
All right, so you're going to pour the wine? Are you going to do the honors?
I'm so excited. I'm like heating up. So,
Hey, I got you some water behind you.
all right, folks. So let's just start talking about as we crack open some wine. You brought some beautiful bistro glasses.
Oh yes, these are from my tiny little studio, and I actually took them. I hope my landlord is not watching. I actually brought them to Le Jardin des Plantes.
Yeah.
These are my favorite type of wine glasses, little bistro glasses.
That's amazing.
Favorite type.
That's amazing.
Yep.
Okay, we'll go ahead and pour some of that. I'm excited to taste
You
it.
want me to pour it?
Yep. Happily.
Right. I'll do that.
And let me scoot in a little bit more here. Put the
And then you
grapes
can
there.
relax a little.
Yeah.
I'll serve you first.
I hope
'cause you've
everyone
worked.
enjoyed the Blossoms tour. I think a lot of you did. I saw in the comments, and that was fun. And I didn't kill myself on the bike. Completely comfortable and natural. Does it
You
smell
want the
nice?
water first?
Just a little bit of water, yeah.
Yeah. You should hydrate.
I'm actually quite a lightweight when it comes to alcohol.
Same. It should be interesting.
The longer you stay tuned, the more you're going to see, folks.
The two lightweights drink red wine at 5 in the afternoon.
Absolutely. Let me turn this a little bit closer toward you. There we go.
Okay,
Thank you.
there you go, my friend.
This is amazing.
Time to relax. You've worked hard. I have done nothing. I just watched and listened.
I would encourage people, wherever they may be, to pour a glass of wine right now and drink with us vicariously in Paris.
Exactly.
Even if it's, maybe 11:20 a.m. for some of them?
It's a little early for some.
Even
of them.
earlier for some?
Yeah.
But if you're over in Australia, it's very late, so you definitely can indulge. All right, here we go. This is To French Girl in Seattle Takes France, and the beautiful blossoms.
And to French Fry in Paris.
Ah, thanks.
Et joyeux anniversaire. Hein? We're
Did I
only
re-
a few days late.
Yeah, my
It was
birthday,
your birthday.
was very recently.
Yeah.
I turned 42, which I find doesn't bother me that much because it feels kind of like 41. You know, it wasn't a big milestone, so I
you're
didn't
a
have
child.
to freak out.
It's okay, 42.
And, cheers to the blossoms, too. This time in Paris, can you beat it?
No.
I don't think you can beat it.
It's the best time of year, I think.
I want to jump right into the content. And sorry, folks, I'm going to have to lean in sometimes just to catch your comments. It's 8 a.m.
Can
in California.
You actually, see, that's how I know you're young. Because I can barely read this.
Yeah.
And my glasses are new.
I just turned 42. When I'm 52, check back in with me because I probably won't be able to read that. Yeah, everyone's saying it's 10:30 a.m.
Heather, I see Heather.
So hopefully some of your fans are here. I want to jump right into it. You lived in Seattle for how long?
23 years.
23 years, and born and bred here in France.
Yep, in Toulouse.
In Toulouse.
And then I lived all over France with my family in 5 different cities.
Yeah.
Until we ended up in Paris, where I lived for 10 years. At that point, I got married to a guy who was a French guy who was very Americanized and wanted to live in the US. So we both moved to Seattle in 1996 when his company transferred him there.
Okay.
And we made a life there. We had a son there. And our son is now a college student in California. And then a few years ago, I started being very homesick, missing my family. My parents are getting older, and I really missed Europe and France. And that's when I started thinking about coming back.
Yeah, your parents are in the Paris region.
They are.
They live here.
They are, and they're getting older. And so I thought it'd be nice to come back now that my son doesn't need his old mom anymore.
Oh,
I know.
Let's console Véro.
I know, he's fine.
It
He's
happens.
a good kid. He's very independent. He'll come and visit me in July, so I'm very excited. And of course, I'll go and visit him.
He'll come back when he needs his laundry done. I'm just joking.
He can do that himself, believe it or not.
Oh,
I
good
taught
for him.
him well.
Well, French kids are always more well-behaved and well-adjusted.
I don't know if he's, well, we'll
is he?
see.
Well, that's the question. He's not very French, to be honest, because he grew
No,
up.
he's American. He was born in Bellevue, Washington. He loves Seattle. He's a little strange, my child. He loves Seattle. He loves the rain. He loves snow. He just likes being there,
Okay.
and he misses it in California even. You would think the sun in California would make up for that, but no, he misses being home sometimes. So yes, he's a little American guy.
Okay, I am never one to wait to eat my cheese, so I'm just
Well, you
going
got
to
a
go
plate
for it.
here.
I've got a plate, and there's a
You
knife.
don't
So
need to use a plate.
let me ask you. Let me set this
Those
down here.
plates are pretty flimsy.
So you came back to France permanently, right?
Yes, I moved back on March 1st. So
Okay.
it's only been a month. And yeah, really, because I spent a few days in Lyon. So it's been a month and so much has happened. It's been a whirlwind. I mean, a whirlwind?
Mm-hmm.
Did I
Whirlwind.
mispronounce? A
No,
whirlwind.
you got it. We know what you mean.
Okay, thank you. And I had so much to do, relocation related things. My boxes arrived. I had to open a bank account, all these things. It's not over yet. And I also got a job. And my job starts in about a week. So everything is happening at once. But I was very lucky to find an apartment right away. And that is amazing without a work contract in Paris. That was the luckiest part in my whole life in the last 4 weeks, is
for
finding
you.
that apartment.
Yeah, the apartment. I saw a couple of photos just from the
The
neighborhood.
seventh
and
heaven.
Ooh, nice. Now, you mentioned you got a job here. You really kind of arrived landing on your feet, as far as I'm concerned, because not just any old job. You got hired by whom?
I got hired by a company that I have always admired, and because I was based in Seattle, that's a company I was very familiar with because it is also based outside Seattle in Edmonds, Washington, and that's Rick Steves Europe. And for years and years, because I dealt, I was interested in travel, did travel workshops on France, I got connected with Rick Steves' organization early on. They do travel festivals twice a year. I would go, I would drag my friends, and I would travel vicariously, watching presentations on Eastern Europe. I mean, he's very generous with sharing a lot of information. And so I kept thinking, one day, I'm going to work for Rick Steves, one day. And it's so hard sometimes.
So this was a long time coming for you.
Oh yeah, 8 to 10 years at least. But my son was young, my ex-husband traveled a lot, and I couldn't make it happen. So the timing was right a few months ago, and I approached them again. I had made some contacts there over the years, and it worked out this time. And so I'm going to be working towards becoming one of their lead tour guides.
Right, I think people, by the way, in the comments are saying congratulations, félicitations.
Thank
so they're
you.
really
I
excited
cannot
about
see
that.
the comment. I'm so sorry.
No, don't worry about it. They're even far away from
so
me.
small.
But I can see a red heart, so that must be a good sign.
Oh,
That's
I see
a positive
the heart.
comment.
Hey, I can see the heart. That's not too bad.
Good for you. There's a process. I think a lot of people would be interested in what does it take to become a Rick Steves guide?
I think from what I've seen, there was a big event every year in January. Rick very generously brings all of his tour guides. He has about 150, 160, both in the United States and in Europe. And he brings them all to Edmonds, Washington for a workshop for 10 days. And we basically, there are meetings, we network, we learn about the company, there are logistical meetings on all the itineraries. And the people I've met there were so different. And they came from many countries, from all walks of life. So I don't know how to answer your question. I don't know how they choose their tour guides, because I've seen so many interesting people who are very different from each other. Age groups, personalities, experiences, backgrounds, countries. It's a really cool community. Very excited to join it.
That's amazing. I love that it wasn't just on a whim you decided to try it. It's something that was in your mind for a long, long time.
Yeah, working in the travel industry has been my goal for a very long time. I've gotten close to it. I've never quite made it until I got hired to become a tour guide for Rick. So now, this time, one of my biggest professional goals was to join the travel industry.
That's amazing. You're going to be so good as a guide for Rick Steves.
I hope so.
I'm convinced of it. Before I say some good things about Rick Steves, by the way, I want to mention that I just saw Cheryl Muller, I'm not sure how you pronounce it, Cheryl. She's been trying to get on live for so long, and she's had technical difficulties, and I just saw that she said, I finally got on, Corey, I'm here. So hello to Cheryl. I'm so glad that you can join us here.
Congratulations.
Rick Steves is how I got my feet wet as far as traveling for the first time. When I came here and met my future wife in Paris, I had his book in my hand, and so I always really looked up to him for helping someone who was a complete novice and had no idea about how to navigate the city. I know I'm not the only one. It really has helped a lot of people.
Yeah, you see a lot of people walking around with the guidebooks. Some people also use his great audio. He has podcasts, and you have the audio tours that if you download the app. I actually did this week a couple of the tours and listened to Rick and a nice lady who was working with him on those tours, and they were taking us around very cool places around Paris. I was amazed at the quality of the information and the detail of the information, and not to mention the guidebooks. I mean, there's a reason he's #1 in guidebook sales.
Yeah, the guidebooks are incredible.
I mean, like Rick says himself, I think the only guidebooks that sell better than his are about Disney. He is #1 in every single category about Europe.
He deserves it.
Because they're so detailed and updated every year by local guides, by local people. They're just great.
That's great. So you're in sort of a training process for that.
Yes.
And you're going to go on your first excursion, proper Rick Steves tour with people. When?
Yeah, so it's going to start in a few days. I was very lucky because I told them I was available this year. A lot of the people I met in January, the new tour guides like me, they had jobs with other companies, but it wasn't the case for me. This was my first company as far as tour guiding goes, so I told them I was available, and I asked them to send me on the road as much as they could this year because the training process is so long. It takes over a year. And they took me up on it, and
Amazing.
assigned 6 or 7 itineraries until the end of September.
Whoa.
So I'm going to be on the road almost 2.5, 3 months this year.
Wow.
So
You're going to see some great stuff. Do you know where you're going in
yeah,
particular?
I'm going to be doing Paris tours. They have 5 itineraries in France, 4 main ones, and I'm going to do 3 of the 4 main ones. So everywhere that Rick goes to, pretty much, except for Eastern France.
Now, will any of those excursions take you through Toulouse, where you grew
No,
up?
Rick doesn't cover Toulouse.
Oh, well,
on
you got to
those
convince him to do
itineraries.
that.
I know.
He's got now. He doesn't know it, but he's got a resident Toulouse expert.
I know. So that would be fun. But everywhere else, you know, the Loire Valley, Normandy, Chateau Saint-Michel, the Dordogne, the Périgord, if you prefer, the Riviera, Provence. I'm going to be going. I am thrilled because I have missed France, and I am going to reconnect with my homeland, and at the same time have the privilege of showing it to other people.
Yeah, that's
so
amazing.
you know, I can't lose on this one. It's a wonderful thing.
That's great. And you're getting acclimated back to Parisian life because it's been a little while since you've lived in France.
People ask me, and it was absolutely no problem. I've come back at least once a year or twice a year for 23 years. I've seen Paris change in many ways, not always in a bad way, in a good and a bad way. So I really haven't had that many moments, you know? It's been fun. I just fit right in. I'm comfortable. I used to be a Parisian, and I'm a Parisian again.
Yeah. You make a very good Parisian. I
You
mean, look
think?
at the scarf that you're wearing.
Ah, the scarf.
Let me.
Well, I don't. The scarf serves a purpose. I don't like to catch colds, so there you go.
Oh, so you don't do it just for style?
No.
I always do it for
because I
style.
catch colds, and somebody said if you're a tour guide, you're going to need to protect your voice, especially since I'm chatty.
Maybe I should think of doing that.
Yeah. Well, you
try to-
wear scarves. You do wear them.
Yeah, but I don't protect my voice at all.
Oh, I was going to ask you for tips on that.
I sing in the shower. Does that help?
Well, that's
Maybe
using
that's the
your voice
opposite.
even more. I'm not sure.
I just like, I'm in the shower and I'm like, oh, Paris. Oh,
Plus, you're a singer,
Paris.
and I'm not a singer, so I need to find something else. I'll go to a pharmacy and ask a friendly pharmacist what kind of little tablets I can suck on. You know, they have those nice little tablets, and I'll say, what can I do to protect my voice when it gets a little strained? And after talking to people for 13 days in a row
Absolutely.
or 11 days in a row,
Yep.
what can I do to protect my voice? But the scarf is the first thing, right? The scarf is the first thing.
Scarf is the first thing.
Yeah, so I have lots of scarves, lots of them. How are you enjoying the cheese?
The cheese is amazing. I started with the Comté because that's the one that I like
Yeah?
the most. But let's be a bit adventurous. And
You want to try this?
well, let me
Which
jump
one?
into the blue because blues are always strong.
All right,
As a
this one is not. Here you go. French picnic
weak
knife.
American eater.
This is your blue brie, remember?
Am I cutting it right?
Yes, you are. Do not cut the nose. Just
Do
do
not
a
cut the
slice.
nose.
Just do a slice.
Let's show them that actually. Here, take this knife.
Okay.
I want you to show them cheese etiquette.
Well, this one's melting away. It's going to be interesting. Okay, so guys, if you have a wedge like this, we do not want to do this. That's considered a bit uncouth in many French homes, because if you do this and people keep doing this, then the last guy just gets the rind. Okay.
Oh, that's a good point.
So we're gonna try and do maybe this. I'm gonna give you a generous.
Oh my goodness, I'll never eat
Slice.
that much, but thank you. Appreciate
Yes,
it.
you will. Yes, you will.
Now, what
There
I
you
also
go.
read that I find interesting is the other reason that you don't cut off the nose, so to speak, is because in a lot of these round cheeses, the center tends to be slightly more flavorful and sweeter, and you want everyone to get a little bit of that.
Of course,
a
you
bite
have
of
to be
that.
fair to everyone. So I'm gonna do the same for me.
Everyone's allowed to get a little
There you
slice
go.
of the center.
So
that
you
makes
see,
sense.
you see this blue. It's very different from the typical blue. It doesn't have a lot of blue in it,
Right.
and the consistency reminds you of the brie. That's why some people call it the blue brie, and it's not easy to find.
The
So-
blue brie. I'm going to give it a smell test. That's mine.
It's not. Let's see. Yeah, it's not the most pungent one at all. The other
No.
ones are more. It's very mild. So.
Okay.
Oh, and I'm gonna have some saucisson.
They're going to watch you eat saucisson with the cherry blossoms. Nice. All right. So before I try this blue, let me put myself on camera.
I'm gonna pour more wine. Where are you with your wine?
At the moment.
Well, I'm drinking.
Again, let's try. You should be drinking.
That's right. I haven't been drinking all week. I've been studying.
Let me try to.
Where are my napkins? Here we go.
Okay. Here we go.
Sorry,
still
guys.
afraid?
It's kind of. I feel like
I know
it's
there's a
little,
lot of random camera work today, but I'm just going with the flow. That's
No.
what this is all about.
That's what my videos are like. They're jumpy and bumpy, and I always say like real life. right?
Like real life, yeah.
You can't control everything.
That's so true.
Your videos are beautiful because
Thank
you're a
you.
perfectionist and you're very skilled.
I appreciate it.
I just go with the let's just shoot this. Let's just make it
You know
happen.
what? But that can work too. People appreciate that, like the reality of
Well,
that.
I'm
the truth
glad
of it.
they do because I don't know how to do what you do.
Can you scoot in a little bit more so everyone can see you?
Yep.
Perfect. Okay, here
Am
we
I
go.
in?
Well, no, I'm not turned off by the smell. So
No,
it's
there's
not too,
it's very
it's
mild.
not too much like a stinky feet vibe.
Yep. Let's see. Oh, it is good. It does have that. It does have the blue cheese taste for sure.
This is good. It's not too strong. It's just got that nice tang to it. Do you know that word? You're not a native speaker. I know that's a random word, tang.
I know tang.
Your English is perfect by now. I mean, after all those years, you're so good. Are there any
Thank you.
expressions you come across like in a movie and you're like, where did that come from?
Yeah, once in a while. And then I say, what does that mean? My friends are happy to explain to me. No, I mean, I know a lot of expressions. I'll never lose my French accent, though.
Nor should you, damn it. Nor should you.
Well, I am
I like
French
how you
girl.
do that little flourish at the end. I'll never
I am
lose it.
French girl in Seattle, right? People would be utterly disappointed if I didn't sound French a little bit.
Let me give the
Do you
viewers a
agree?
tip. Yeah, absolutely. Sorry to talk over you. Yeah, the accent.
Cheers.
My wife, who's French, told me when I speak French that I have a slight accent still, and she said never lose it, always keep it, because it's cute, it's sexy.
Well, yeah, and that's where you're from.
And if I ever get pulled over by the cops, I'm just gonna really turn on the accent. Or is that maybe a bad idea? Should I try to be more local or more?
No,
Maybe it's if it's a female cop, should I
think
play
it
up
would
the
get
accent?
you. I think it can get you out of trouble if you play the "I am a foreigner" card. I am a little confused. Can you help me? It's helped me in the past. When I was a student in Atlanta, Georgia, we got stopped by the cops on the road once we were speeding. It did help that all of us girls were just
Oh yeah.
sit, and we made it worse. It was, oh, we're so sorry.
I am right. You played it way up, yeah. I got stopped once by the cops, and I was alone in the car, freaking out. French cops, and I told them I was from New York, and they started to get excited. And two more of them came over to the car window, and one of them was like, United States, Miami, and he was super psyched on Miami. So I just went with it. I was like, yeah, Miami,
and
love
there
it.
are very nice people among
Yeah.
cops.
Yeah,
You
cops are cool.
It's a lot like living in France. You know how people always say the French are they seem very serious and they're not super friendly. And their first reaction, especially when you're dealing with an administration, is to say no. No, pas possible. No.
That's so true.
Never take that as an
So
answer.
true. The knee-jerk reaction of a French person.
Yeah,
is
never.
no.
Exactly. My dad does that. Dad, are you going to have cheese? No. 2 seconds later, can you pass me the cheese?
Yeah, and you will watch that when you see French people interact with each other. Like some person goes up to the window and needs a service or blah, 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 and the other person will say, no, it's not possible. And that French person, the customer, will push just a little bit and the other person will give in. That seems to
Yeah.
happen every day.
So pushing, a good way to do it, if you speak French, if somebody just said no to you and you think it's not reasonable, you think you can get through and you think you can have what you want, is to tell the story. If you spin a good story and if you appeal, if it talks to them, they will help you. And the no will become a maybe, and then if you're lucky, it will become a okay.
Yeah,
We will do it.
begrudgingly, like fine.
Yes.
But you can get
well,
there.
like the guy who delivered my boxes last week or this week. When was it? Time goes by. It was Tuesday. He just said, I cannot unpack the pallet. And my dad is 83 years old. He's tired. I'm like, well, what am I going to do? How do I get them to the basement of the building? I'm not allowed to, So we started talking, and I said, it's just me and my dad.
Right.
What am I going to do?
So
and
what
we
happened?
I just came back from the US. This is my life. My life is in those 8 boxes.
Oh.
You need to help me.
Did
He
you
said, you came back. And then I knew I had him because he said, you came back from the US to live in Paris? He was shocked.
And then
Why? And I said, I'll tell you the story. You need to help me push that pallet down to the
Yeah.
basement. And
You
I'll
charmed
give
him.
you a very good tip. And that did it. He was a nice guy, though.
That's amazing. Well, so you got there in the end. Sometimes you got to
Yeah.
break through.
Yeah. you
Break
do-
through the creme brulee. A tour guide of mine named Francis, said that the French or the Parisians are like a creme brulee, very hard and crusty on the outside, and you just got to crack through and get into the the
You
gooey
know,
sweet center.
I like that. May I say,
Yeah.
I like this, what is the word, analogy?
Yeah.
I like it so much better than the coconut peach. If I hear the coconut versus peach story one more time, I think I'll...
Refresh my memory what that
Well,
is.
it's the same. Everybody's using the story. Oh, the French are like, you know, some people are like peaches. Like Americans are like peaches.
Oh.
They're so friendly and soft and bubbly, but it's hard to get to who they really are. You reach the pit in the middle.
I see.
But the French are like coconuts, which is very ugly, a coconut. So not really, you know, it's not very pretty.
Yeah,
and
but
then,
coconuts are delicious.
so you get in, I know. And you get in, and then inside it's all sweet. I like the creme brulee much better.
Yeah, creme brulee is better, right?
Plus, it fits. We're talking about the French. Perfect.
I want to play catch up on the comments a little bit.
Yeah.
Missy,
how do you do that?
Missy Lamb wants to know about your hair, but first, someone asked if we eat
What about my hair?
No, she likes
Missy?
it. She likes it.
Oh, good.
She likes it.
Oh, good.
The rind, someone asked, do you eat the rind of this blue cheese? Absolutely. Any soft rind is fair game.
It's
However,
vitamins. You need your vitamins, guys.
However,
Not in a box.
the
Get
con- Sorry?
Go for it.
The comté is very hard on the outside, and so I wouldn't eat that. So you nibble the comté all the way to that hard rind. You probably could eat it, but it's just not very agréable.
No.
But anything soft like this, a brie, etc., go for it. This is good.
I like the. Do you like this goat cheese, Le Chèvre?
I haven't tried. You mean in general?
No, this one.
No, I haven't tried this one.
It's
Okay.
interesting.
And also, Jennifer Warren said, your accent is adorable, don't ever lose it.
I couldn't.
I'm going to swing it around here. Oh, back to Missy Lamb. She said, where do you get your hair done in Paris? Because she loves the color and the cut of your hair.
I love Missy.
A lot of people do.
Missy and I get along very well. We have a lot. We share common tastes.
Yeah, she's great.
Did you know that we like to have our champagne? We like to have our French fries. Sorry, speaking with
That's
my
all right.
mouth
They
full.
understand. They'd be doing the same thing, I'm sure.
Missy and I both like to have our French fries. You will like this with pink champagne. This is one of our favorite aperitifs, right, Missy?
That's some good living.
Yeah, Missy and I share some of the same values. So, Missy, the answer to your question is I get my hair blown out on a regular basis. I always have. I spend no money on my nails or anything else, but I like my hair, which is very thick, to look good. And it takes professional help. So I do that about once a week. As for the color, I had it done in the US 2 months ago, and that's it. So...
Do you already know where you're going to go? Do you have a local hair salon in your new neighborhood?
Where I go at my mom's place in the suburbs. She's very nice, and Delphine is her name, and she's been doing my hair for many years.
Shout out to Delphine, the hairdresser.
Delphine in the suburbs.
Delphine!
She lives in the 9-3. You
oh,
know
in
that
the 93.
area.
Oh, yeah.
Huh?
In the banlieue, the suburbs.
Yeah, the eastern suburbs.
Eastern burbs.
And so Delphine and I have great conversations. I always like to get my hair done wherever I go when I travel because it's a way of meeting locals, and people just start talking when you get your hair done.
Oh, that's
what
true.
I've
That's a
noticed.
good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know other people like to do that too. That's a very good local thing to do.
Yep.
When you're traveling. Back to the blossoms.
Meanwhile, I'm giving you more bread.
Yeah. Let me go through the comments here and see if we can answer a couple more things for people.
Well, at least you can read them. Oh, I haven't had that comté.
People are saying fries and pink champagne. Awesome. Yes. They're
Yes,
down
of
with
course. Yes, of course.
it. Excellent pairing.
Don't let anybody tell you it's not okay.
Debbie Richardson says you do look wonderful. I assume she's talking to you, and I'll go ahead and give you that compliment. You deserve
thank
it.
you, but you do look wonderful
Aw,
too.
I'm
Come
joking, I'm
on,
joking.
we both
I'm
look
not one to
wonderful.
fish for compliments.
No, oh God forbid.
And people saying they love creme brulee. Coconuts are hip. Who said that?
Coconuts are hip.
Laura Jensen or Jensen? Jason? Jason. Maybe.
I
And they
just
like the
don't
peach
care
and
for the
coconut.
comparison with
Right.
coconuts. Or, I don't know.
So, what's on your to-do list? Because you've only been here a short time as far as permanently living in Paris. What kind of thing, if you had to a free day to just go run around and do something, what would you do right now? I know you like the Batignolles area, 17th arrondissement.
Yeah, and I spend time there because I have a good friend who owns a restaurant there, which I've talked about very often. In fact, I talked about him on the last cafe chat we did exactly a year ago. Gaston in the Batignolles neighborhood.
Yeah.
I still have to go back and see him. I have it on this trip. I think I just like to walk around parks and enjoy. And you know what I've been enjoying to do is my new neighborhood, my new old neighborhood, because I used to live there.
Okay.
And I am so lucky, and I'll say it again. And you'll find this strange, you guys, living in the United States, but I am so lucky that I found a place that is under 300 square feet, where I feel more comfortable and happier than I did in much larger places. That's located in a great neighborhood right next to the beautiful Bois de Vincennes, where I can go on runs and walks every day, away from the bustle and noise of Paris.
That's really what someone should do, right? These folks, you know, a lot of Frites and a lot of your followers have come to Paris many times and they're looking for alternative ways to get deeper into the culture. They should go out to the Bois de Vincennes and the Parc de Vincennes.
It's gorgeous. You were there the other day. You took a beautiful picture.
Yeah, I'm convinced that you and I were just going to randomly meet each other one day on a
I know,
Sunday
we're going to
afternoon.
bump into each other.
We are. That's going to be great. And I hope you're going to bring wine and cheese for that encounter as well. You should always carry them around no matter what.
Yeah, and no matter what, I'll have wine with me and cheese. I could do without wine almost, but I don't think I could live without cheese. I am addicted to cheese, and I've missed it in the US because it was expensive to buy French cheese there, so I didn't eat it as much as I would have liked. But you guys should see Corey eat that cheese right now. He's eating that cheese with gusto. He's just like enjoying the cheese.
I so am.
So Vincennes, you know, the outskirts, the old villages of Paris. Recently, I went back to the 16th arrondissement and wrote a blog post about the old village of Auteuil, because everybody now goes to Passy. Not many people go to Auteuil, and Auteuil is great. And then all these old villages around Paris that were eventually incorporated in the second half of the 19th century by Napoleon and his guy.
Yes, yeah.
And
his guy.
His wingman.
Osman. Yeah, that's funny. His guy.
Yeah. And so it's great to do that. Just step away from all. I mean, this place where we are now is going to get crazy busy after Easter. It's lovely, but it's going to get so busy.
That is so true.
And so just get out there. Just go see more places.
That's so funny. So the cheese was too expensive, or it was more expensive in the U.S. And now you're happy.
The French cheese.
I just wanted to show them this. Why not?
This, guys, do you know what this is? Can you see it on the screen?
Yep.
This is an Opinel knife.
Opinel.
Opinel. A lot of French people have Opinel knives, not Swiss Army knives. Opinel is a French brand. It's traditional. Now, the quality is such that this knife, which was gifted to me by my ex-husband when we were engaged on a trip in Chamonix in the French Alps.
Nice. Romantic.
So we're talking close to 30 years ago.
Nothing says, honey, you're my soulmate more than a knife.
Get a knife. He was lucky I never used it on him. So this knife is still as sharp as it was on the first day. It's always with me when I travel with this little board here.
That's awesome.
Because you never know when I'm going to find an outdoor market and buy something to eat. And I've done it many times. So I have this in a Ziploc bag, this, and my favorite bottle opener, which I brought back when I forgot where it went. I think it's
Maybe
hiding.
It's in the bag somewhere, but
yeah, it's somewhere. So and that's it. Those are the tools of the trade.
Can you, by the way, I want to zoom back into the saucisson here, the dried sausage, cured sausage. Would you ever eat that rind?
I do. Look.
What? Wait a minute.
Now.
This is a momentous event.
Watch.
Oh my goodness.
It goes away.
It's sort of like paper, isn't it? No, I'm being too American? Sorry. Okay, well, fine then. I'm going to do it on camera then. I'm going to prove my worth.
I dare you.
Challenge accepted. Oh, there's some cute kids there.
I dare you.
You know what? Challenge freaking accepted.
Oh, I don't even have to pull it out of my mouth. It's gone.
Yeah, because it is a pain to remove it.
Some of them, not all. This one's fine.
Okay, so yeah, there's always a rind.
This one will go smoothly.
Sometimes it's thick, sometimes it's very thin, but it's this in the saucisson. And every time I'm serving an apéro or eating it myself, I'm meticulously in the kitchen trying to peel it off, and it takes forever. So you're saying I can just eat it?
Eat it. I am not just saying do it. Now, you're on camera. What?
There's no going back.
Okay, now I can spit mine out.
It's good. It probably
Well,
adds flavor.
can you taste it?
Yeah.
No, you
Well,
can't.
No, I can't. No, I
You
can't
can
feel
barely taste
it.
it.
No, I can't feel it. It's just all.
Bonjour.
You got a future Facebook star.
Yeah.
That's good. It's good. It's good.
Right? You can. Some of them are really thicker, and it would be wise to remove it. But this one's fine. It's
Can
absolutely.
we talk more about this?
La baguette.
Explain why this baguette is different from other ones that you can get.
It just tastes better.
Right. It's called the tradition.
Tradition.
Tradition. I don't know if this helps any of you, but any English word that ends in tion usually has the same exact word in French. So tradition becomes tradition, nation becomes nation,
That's a good tip.
question becomes question, and so use that trick when you can. But anyway, a tradition, it's a throwback. It's not your typical baguette because you can get cheaper baguettes that are good, but they're a little bit like white bread, I would say, like a little bit more towards the simpler
Boring.
taste, boring, fade, we would say in French,
Yeah.
bland.
And the products, I mean, the ingredients they use for this one are really good too.
And how much extra if you pay for a tradition instead of une baguette? Because if you say une baguette, they're going to give you the normal one typically. You got to say specifically une tradition. What's different in price? 20 cents? 30 cents?
This one was 120
Yeah, and I think it's
at the market.
and it's 90 or €1, 90 cents, €1 for a normal.
Spend the
Always
money.
spend the money. That's what I'm getting at here. Always spend the money.
But then, if you're French, you have to decide if you want it bien cuite
Yes.
or pas trop cuite.
Pas trop cuite. What do
So-
you choose usually?
I ask pas trop cuite.
Yeah, me too. Pas trop cuite. Not too
So
cooked.
not too cooked, because otherwise it's really dry. So this one was pas trop cuite, and it was the last one. A gentleman was very miffed because she had 4 left, and I said pas trop cuite, and that's the one he wanted. And I smiled. I said, "I'm so sorry. It's for a picnic."
I just dropped my cheese. Oh, if it's for a
You
picnic,
just
then
wasted a
by all means,
perfectly
madame.
good slice
No,
of
a pigeon
cheese.
is going to surely enjoy that later on.
So yeah, so the guy was not happy, but he was a good sport and said, "Oh, okay, I'll have that one." You know, it was fine.
So for the people who want to speak French and maybe one of their dreams, because I used to have a dream, a simple dream, Véro, when I was
Okay.
younger, coming to France. I wanted to be able to walk into a bakery and just order some bread or order a croissant and have them understand me in French, right? And have the transaction go. And one day it
Yeah,
happened
because
and I felt...
saying it is something, but one thing, and then having them understand
Exactly.
you is the other
So
challenge.
just,
yeah.
I know there are a few people out there watching that want to know if I walk into a bakery and, for example, want to get one of these tradition baguettes, what is the very simple phrasing that they could use in French?
Bonjour,
Bonjour.
always. I mean, you've read it, you've heard it. It's no joke, okay? There are a lot of stereotypes about France and French life, but this one is not. Always, never ask for something, never ask a question. Even if you're smiling and if you're nice, if you forget to say bonjour, not bonjour, guys, let's all say it. Bonjour. I cannot hear you, but I'm assuming you're doing it. Bonjour.
Record yourself and send in the recordings. And
Yes,
Véro
please.
will
I'll be
critique
checking
them.
tonight. I'll send some feedback.
And
Missy, you do that.
We'll create a point system and you'll get your score.
Right. So bonjour first, and then I would say, I wouldn't even say je voudrais, which means I would want, I would like. I would just say une baguette, une baguette, une baguette, tradition, tradition, une baguette, tradition, and then the other magic word, s'il vous plaît. S'il vous plaît. Une baguette, tradition, s'il vous plaît. Then if you want to get up there, do you want it well cooked, not well cooked, that's more advanced.
Yep.
Okay?
Can you, maybe I'm just being lazy, but can you actually remove the word baguette and say une tradition s'il vous plaît?
Absolutely.
That works, right?
Yep.
If they want to minimize the chance of screwing it up and blah, 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 right?
That's a
Because
good tip.
that's a factor.
That's a good
So,
tip.
bonjour, une tradition s'il vous plaît.
So you can see, you can tell
I've said
he's
that
been,
many and many times. let me
you
tell
can tell he's been in France for a long time. He knows the lingo.
Oh, one of the great accomplishments of my life is my wife, who was born and raised in Paris
Yep.
all of her life. She, when I met her and we came back here and started our life, always got the normal baguette, which I think is very bland and a little
Yes,
bit boring.
yeah.
And she loved it. And I have slowly, over the course of many years, tilted her over. The pendulum has swung to the other side, and now she orders the tradition.
Good for you.
I'm
to
very proud of
change
that.
a French person's way.
A French woman.
Cheers.
Right?
My glass is empty, but cheers anyway.
So is mine, but
we need
hallelujah.
to fill those up again.
The first and last time I'll ever change my French wife's mind on something.
How is Charlotte? Is she watching us?
I think she is. I saw her name come up.
Bonjour.
Hi,
Bonjour,
Charlotte.
Charlotte.
She's with the girls, with the young ones. And yeah, super mom.
I remember those days. And you both have businesses. You both work hard. So that's really hard. Yeah. I remember those days. It's a lot of work.
What else can we tell them about the food here? What's going on? So you got a different.
The food is disappearing. That's
disappearing,
what's going on. It's disappearing, and people are just so envious. I want you to know it's not nice to rejoice at the fact that people envy you or are jealous of you. But there are a lot of French people right now who are walking by and looking at our picnic and going, "Oh, we need to go somewhere and get some of that."
Yeah,
I can hear them
way,
think.
If they happen to ask us to give them some, our knee-jerk French reaction is going to be, non,
Non,
absolument pas.
pas possible, pas possible.
And then if they work us a little bit and they charm us, then
Ah, ok,
we'll give in
ça
because that's how it
va,
goes.
ça va. Allez, servez-vous.
Yeah.
D'accord.
Yeah, so that's how it works.
Yeah.
We're going to wrap things up soon. This has been a lovely chat,
It's
and
been fun.
I love the fact that you got seedless grapes.
Yes,
One of my pet peeves when I first moved here was it was impossible to find
it's
grapes.
my pet peeve too.
I hate it. What's the point?
I know, I'm too American for that.
But-
I no.
It kills like you in the flow. Like especially, I never dated in Paris because I was already married
It's
when I moved here.
gross.
What if you're having an apéro with like a cute girl in a sidewalk cafe, and you're like, "Pugh, pugh." It's the same with olives. How do you feel about olives?
The pits, huh?
The
You're
pits
going
and
to say
the
the pits.
yeah.
I like olives, so I'll work with the pits.
Me too.
But for grapes, not so much. Not so much.
Véro, she'll work with the pits.
I'll work with
That's
the pits.
all you need to know about her.
Final words.
Final last
She'll work.
Yeah, exactly.
with
She'll
the
work.
pits.
Put that on your resume. Rick Steves tour guide, and she'll also
work
with the pits.
She's very adaptable,
But
flexible.
I heard the only reason that I deal with the olives is that I heard that it keeps the flavor intact and makes them a little more flavorful.
Oh yeah, and in France
moist.
there's so many olives. It'd be a shame to not have them just because they have a pit.
But I find that the seedless grape craze is relatively new.
Yeah,
So I'm
I was
loving
surprised to find them. And they're good. They're sweet.
They're amazing.
They're sweeter than the ones I had in the U.S. Actually, they weren't always sweet, and these are very sweet and no seeds.
Well, we should probably wrap things up. I don't even know what time it is, but can you? I'm
Let's
going to
see.
pull myself
It
a
is
little bit away.
almost 6 o'clock.
Okay, so it's almost daddy duty time for me to get, not daddy duty like daddy duty.
I understand.
The baby has the duty,
I
but I also
understand.
have my duty. So yeah, it's almost time for that. But before daddy duty, daddy's got to take a little bit of his medicine before he goes home.
Because you still have that cold.
I know, I
He's
still
still
have this cold.
fighting a cold.
Because
and
I
he
never
was-
rest.
And that's true. And you were riding that bike like a madman and filming at the same time.
Yeah, it felt pretty natural. I don't think this is going to be the last bike tour, to be honest.
I think it was fun. I watched it.
Oh, you did? Okay, great.
Yeah. I was actually leaving comments, but you were too busy. You couldn't. It was too dangerous for you to read comments.
I did see your name come up. I appreciate that.
Yeah. I left comments. It was great fun.
Is there anything that you would like to say to some of your folks, some of your French girls in Seattle type folks?
Well, I would like to thank everyone, both the French Frye community and the French Girl in Seattle community, because I know some of you are here. In fact, I know we have common fans. There is some, what's the word, overlapping?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, overlapping.
Some cross-pollination.
Cross-pollination. So I want to thank everybody for all your support. I've been sharing my adventures since I returned, and they're not exciting adventures. I've been sharing what I do every day.
They love it.
To settle back in, and everybody's been super supportive. I get the nicest messages and the nicest comments. And as soon as this is all over and I'm done with all the admin stuff that's still my life every day, I'm going to be on the road. Showing France, showing my country to visitors, a lot of American visitors, because it'll be through Rick Steves. But when I'm back here at home, especially at the end of the season, I'll be giving some tours as well. And they'll be a little bit different. There'll be some French language component. I'll be going to places that I like that are not necessarily downtown.
Hold the phone. That's a bit of an exclusive here that you're dropping, that you are in the near future, perhaps, going to start building your own sort of excursions around Paris.
Yeah, I'd like to do that.
With a different slant to them.
Right. I'd like to do that. A lot of people are already covering Paris and very well. One of them is sitting next to me.
Thank you. Again, I never fish for compliments, people.
They come your way. You
They
don't
just
even need to
come
ask.
to me,
They
Véro.
just come to you. Accept them graciously.
Wine,
Just
cheese,
accept
saucisson
them.
rains down upon me wherever I am.
So I will be offering some tours, and please be patient with me. Some of you have already sent me email messages. I have put an introduction on my Facebook page, on the website, explaining what I'm going to do. So I will get back to you. I don't have a list of services yet. I don't have pricing yet, but I will get back to you, and I will try to welcome as many of you as I can this year. And it will all get, one step at a time.
Yeah.
I just returned a month ago, and it's been busy and it's been great because
That's
every day there's something moving forward.
So, website is?
FrenchGirlInSeattle.com.
Okay, without the France part, right? Seattle.
FrenchGirlInSeattle.com.
Because that was the original name.
Yeah, and same for Instagram or Facebook. If you just put in French Girl in Seattle, it pops up.
Yeah.
It's easier.
It fills in automatically once you do the French Girl in Seattle part.
It does.
Okay.
It does. So you know where to find
So they
me.
can contact you for potentially organizing a way to tour with you.
If I can
you
make it
figure
happen.
It out.
If
Yeah,
I can, and
you will.
in the meantime, maybe I'll meet some of you on some Rick Steves tours this season, and
Yes.
that would be a lot of fun. So if that's the case, please let me know. That would be really fun.
That begs the question, is there any way for them to request you in the future as
They
a guide?
cannot.
It's luck of the draw.
Yeah, Rick doesn't want people
Fair
to
enough.
request tour guides because sometimes itinerary and schedules change in the last minute, and also because all the guides are great. And so everybody has to have a chance to work with his clients, his travelers. And yeah, so you cannot request a specific guide, but I'm pretty confident after meeting most of them in January that whoever you get will be awesome. So go for it, and if you haven't yet, book a trip with Rick. You won't regret it.
That's great. Okay, well, this was lovely. I wish all of my guests would show up with such a spread. Amazing, amazing. No diss to my previous guests. You've been a previous guest.
Yeah.
But
This is our anniversary cafe chat.
this is number 3.
This is number 3, but we did the first one exactly a year ago. The second one we had connection issues, remember?
Oh yeah.
No Wi-Fi, no cell coverage.
Exactly a year
in the
ago we
Marais.
did
Yeah,
that one?
exactly, and it was your birthday. You mentioned it in the chat.
Is that
So
true?
it was exactly a year ago.
Back when I was a young sprite 41-year-old.
Uh-huh.
Now look at me. I'm
Oh.
a slob.
Fishing for compliments again. Am
I
I
am,
right?
Maybe
Am
that's a
I
thing.
right?
Maybe that's a thing that I do. Oh shoot. I got to work on that.
You know what you mentioned? I shared the cafe chat again this week to introduce this one.
Yep.
And I watched it again, and it was just so much fun to watch it again.
The one at the
And
wine bar?
The one
La
at the
Madeleine?
wine bar by La Madeleine Church. And you know what I saw? It was hilarious. You actually mentioned La Rue Crémieux as a great place to go. And you remember what happened to La Rue Crémieux a few weeks ago?
Yes,
You need to tell them
it
that.
became infamous. The special street with all the colorful facades, the colorful buildings near Gare de Lyon became kind of infamous in the news recently because too many Instagrammers are going doing ridiculous things for
Stupid
photos,
things, yeah.
like handstands and like
Bothering people.
being disrespectful to the residents because it's such a pretty street, the Rue Crémieux. And I mentioned it on that
So
video.
in that cafe chat, you were like, oh, I don't know if you know this street, but it's so pretty, it's colorful, and you have all got to go there and take photos.
Come on, surely I don't have that
You're
much
on-
clout. I don't
you're
have that
on
much
camera.
influence. Fishing for compliments. I don't have that much influence over you.
Yes, you did, because now everybody flocks to La Rue Crémieux,
Oh my
and
goodness,
we all
I'm
know.
so sorry.
We all know who started it.
To the people of the Rue Crémieux, I'm
My
sorry.
apologies.
My apologies, my condolences.
We're not going to do a cafe chat Rue Crémieux, that's for sure.
You never know. Oh, by the way, before I sign off, next episode, next live tour next weekend is going to be number 50. So
Wow, big number.
It's a secret for now, but I'm going to try to plan something, kind of bigger and more spectacular. So stay tuned for that. It's going to be a milestone next
How do you
weekend.
do it? Every week gets more and more spectacular.
Oh, thank you.
You're going to run out of
I
spectacular
didn't have to
things.
fish for that one. That's
No,
so
I
nice.
know.
Okay.
No,
Why
but
don't-
it's true though. How do you, like, every week? This was pretty, I don't know about you guys, but I thought the Blossom Tour, which
This
you
is fun.
didn't call the Blossom Tour, what did you call it?
Blossom's bike ride.
Oh, sorry.
It had a theme.
Blossom's bike ride was pretty amazing.
Thank
So
you.
how do you, like, are you going to do the next one from the top of a tree?
No, the next one's on horseback, clearly.
Ah, okay then. With La Gendarmerie Nationale.
Dressed in my full Napoleon outfit.
Oh, that would be fun. You know, there's something in Frye where they do that every year.
Oh, I want to see that.
They stage the return of Napoleon, and they do that in Frye Malmaison at La Malmaison. It's really fun. You could do a special there. You could even he would walk up to you and do what he did to his favorite soldiers. He would walk up to them.
He did that?
Yes, it's very famous that he did that. He did that to his favorite men only, and he would pinch their ear like this, and that was a sign the emperor liked you. So he would go and say, "French fry, I like you." With his Corsican accent. That was a terrible Corsican accent, by the way.
Okay, maybe the wine is starting to kick in now. We're getting a little loosey-goosey now.
We're having fun.
We're having fun right
here.
We're
having fun.
In the Jardin des Plantes.
La vie est belle.
La vie est belle, la vie est belle.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody. Well, let's go ahead and sign off. Thank you for watching and tuning in. If you want to go back, the replay will be up here on this page as usual.
I can't wait to see it, actually.
Thank you. French Girl in Seattle takes France, and she is going to be working with Rick Steves, and will be developing her own tours in the relatively near future. So keep that in mind, and just bringing cheese and saucisson and wine to the locals wherever you go.
Yes, I will. Sharing French culture.
That's amazing. Thanks so much, everybody. Take care.
Thank you.
Hope you have a lovely day.
And thanks, Corey. That was awesome.
Thanks to you. Au revoir.
It was fun. Au revoir.
Chin, one last chin.
Oh, one last chin. My glass empty. Shame on me.
Isn't that bad luck? How dare
it is.
you? How
Oh
dare you?
gosh, don't say that. I'll feel it right now. Bon week-end tout le monde.
Bye. Au
Bon
revoir.
dimanche.